Hello, hello. Long time no here, I guess. I've been a bit busy as of late, and I think I've burned myself out a bit on World of Warships. That's why I haven't been playing it this much. There's also been a couple of Blade and Souls closed betas that I've been testing. Don't get ignored chat, by the way. I'm not actually calling this Gearing a noob, because he's in my clan and I know him. It's Gnir, so I'm just joking. Anyway, I decided to, since 0.5.2 has come out now, just like it came out the same day I decided to start playing again. So I decided to make a commentary of the one ship I haven't made one for yet, or like a full overview, which is the Zao, which is my favorite cruiser. Now, in 0.52, they've obviously nerfed the max HP from 44.9k to 40.8, so that's almost a 10% HP reduction. But that's actually not that big of a deal, because, well, if you play a Zao differently than I do, it might be a big deal. But if you play it what I consider the correct way, then it really doesn't have much of an impact. Now, the thing that makes Zao unique among the other cruisers is that, well, there's a couple of things, of course. It's the best cruiser. I don't think there's any argument to be done there. First of all, you can see my range. I have the module that gives me increased range, so I can easily shoot from 8.8 kilometer range. And you can notice that I'm not detected. That's because my concealment is so good on this ship that I can, without any issues, stealth fire. Now, unlike a destroyer that stealth fires, my shells do absolutely massive damage, and my chance of fire is very high. You can see 2 fires straight away. This Izumo is basically already fucked, even though he just entered the game. The game has just started, and he's already fucked. Like, he has to blow his repair, he's being hammered, he has to turn away and just basically flee. His entire attack just got completely stopped in its tracks. Now, what I was saying about the Zao, the reason it's the best cruiser, it's basically because it has almost all the best things that a cruiser wants packed together. I got another little fire on him, by the way, which is repair on cooldown, so he's so completely fucked. Now, first of all, the Zao is fairly small. It's agile, both which are good things for avoiding shells. It's actually very well armored for a cruiser, meaning you can bounce shells very well if you angle yourself. The concealment on it is good, which allows you, as you can see, stealth fire. This Yamato can't see me, I'm setting him on fire, basically making his life hell. It's got very good firepower, and it's unlike the Des Moines, which technically has more DPM, but once again, you shouldn't believe stats blindly, because stats definitively don't tell you the whole story. It has more DPM, yes, but it can't use it because the arcs on the Des Moines are so insanely high. Whereas the Zao is basically like a railgun. You can see how easily I'm landing shells on these guys. I'm just landing shell after shell after shell after shell. And this Yamato that was pushing up, he turned away. That's why I decided to, why I call this like controlling the battlefield or controlling the ocean. Because that's what I'm doing. Their entire push is stopping because their battleships are on fire, their repair is on cooldown, they're bleeding HP, and they can't even see what's doing it to them. That is Umo, you see him back there, he's 35k HP. He's shitting himself. Now I'm briefly detected for a while, but you can see I'm already turning slightly away, getting another fire on the Yamato. Yeah, I saw him shoot, I saw his shells, so I'm turning hard right. And because this ship is so agile, and because the distance is so long, you see, I managed to dodge the... If I had gone straight, he would have landed a perfect fall on me. But because the distance is so far, and the ship is so agile, I'm easily able to avoid it. Now, of course, that's not to say the Zao has only strengths. It has a couple of glaring weaknesses, or well, actually one big glaring weakness, and that's the anti-air. It's very, very, very bad. It's absolutely laughably bad. If T9 or T10 CV targets you, even if you have defensive AA on, he will shit on you. Like, he won't shoot down many planes at all, if any. So that's basically the major weakness of the Zao, and that's why, even though it has the range that allows it to easily mingle with the battleships and sit back and snipe with them, it's really not much of an escort ship. Really, the only thing you can do is split up the torpedo bombers, but you won't be killing any of them. So that's pretty awful. Okay, I got with her. It's 5 minutes 30 seconds into the game, and I have done 60,000 fire damage. That tells you how much pressure I've been putting on those battleships. And as you can see, I don't have a dent on me yet. I've gotten shot at like 2 or 3 times and I've avoided all the shells. I'm still invisible and I'm still raining fire. And this entire push, if you look at the minimap, you can see all these battleships that try to push up. They've all turned around, they're all fleeing. And I mean, they had a huge advantage in battleships. They had a Yamato, we didn't. That Yamato could have pushed up. If there was only, if I wasn't here, he could have basically steamrolled all our other battleships without any issues. Okay, of course we have DDs, but they have DDs as well. But the pressure I put on from such long range and the fact that there was no way for them to counter it besides running away is what forced them to flee. Now, of course, that doesn't mean like the Zao is uncounterable. If one of those DDs would have pushed up to detect me all the time, or a carrier would have detected me, that could have obviously countered me. But I try to stay away from where the DDs are. You can see the DDs is actually on the other side of the map. That's why I'm humping the edge over here, so that the chances of me being detected are much, much smaller. This Mogami is trying to flee. He's trapped pretty badly. He kept trying to basically snipe from behind the mountain, but because all the other ships bailed, he got caught left out behind, and he's very fucked now. He briefly detected me, but it wasn't enough. I'm shooting him from behind the cliff now, so once again I'm undetected. Like, out of this game I've maybe been detected a total of 30 seconds, maybe less, and I've just been hammering constant damage on these people. That's the power of the Zao, and this is why no other cruiser, in my opinion, comes even close to matching it in power. Even the Hindenburg, which, if it was a fair, straight 1 versus 1, with both ships at 10 kilometers, then the fight can go either way between the Hindenburg and the Des Moines and the Zao. Like, they can all, it comes down a lot to skill and positioning and everything like this. And of course RNG as well. But that's a fair 1 versus 1. And as a Zao, you never want to take fair fights. Why would you? That's not your thing. That's for the other cruisers. You're all about being this annoying bastard that's sniping everyone from range. Oh, and there's some Zaos play like that. Basically they play like a brawler. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just nowhere near as effective as this playstyle. I mean, it works because the Zao is a good ship, it's good at brawling, but all it takes is one battleship to look at you the wrong way and get one of those lucky Citadel hits, and you're fucked. It's that simple, because battleships absolutely destroy cruisers at higher tiers, except, once again, Zao. Now, the Des Moines is also able to stealth shoot, but once again the problem comes down to the arcs. The shell arcs are simply too massive on it to be able to reliably land damage, whereas Zao damage is very, very reliable. There's a spotter plane. I really hate those. They keep getting me detected, so I always try to kill them as soon as possible. This game, I was hoping to break. I was hoping to get double wither on this clip, since it would be nice to like make a commentary and get double wither and then pretend like you get it every time. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen, because these guys just ran away. As soon as they started dying, they ran away, and now this game is very skewed in our favor. I don't see them coming back from this. They still have 2 DDs alive though. Kagero, and I'm not sure what the other one was. I think it was Benson. But yeah, once again, I'm still undetected. Half the game has gone by. I've gotten well over 100k damage already, and I'm still undetected. That's why when people ask what's the best cruiser, I always say Zao. I see other people always argue it, and I always wonder what the hell are they talking about. Like, equally skilled players on all 3 ships, the Zao will always dominate in terms of damage and basically impact it has. And of course, this is when a DD is 10 kilometers away, the railgun accuracy of these shells is so nasty for DDs. You see how much damage I do and how many hits I land. I landed 7 hits. It's just so he's trying to smoke up and leg it, but he's still gonna eat so much damage from this. Now I got a Turpitz. I killed him. No, that was, who did I kill? I don't even know who I killed. It was probably someone I set. Oh, it was the North Carolina I set fire to earlier. Like, that's the thing, you have fires going on everyone, so you don't even notice it. I'm turning hard left here because I noticed the Turpitz was turning away, so he can't bring his guns to bear. The Hindenburg, if he had AP loaded, could have landed a really, really good salvo on me, but he's shooting HE for some reason, which is a terrible thing to do as a Hindenburg. Like, I don't get how you get to T10 and you're still shooting HE. Now I got one fire on the Turpitz, and I'm already turning back. Oh, he switched to AP now, that's good. Yeah, I got high caliber and Confederate, that's always nice. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Turpitz to burn to death, then I'm gonna finish the Hindenburg. I switched to AP. I don't know how good my volley is. I turned away. That was smart. Yeah, he's turning away. I'm just gonna switch back to HE. Absolutely no point. That's one of the things that's also so strong on the ZA, unlike the Hindenburg, is that both your HE and your AP are very strong. Whereas on the Hindenburg, your HE is a joke, but your AP is absolutely nuts. It's nice when you actually get to shoot at something that AP is good at, but when you don't, then it's awful. That's also why I think the ZA has more versatility and basically more options. And once again undetected, by the way, because he backed off so far away, so my concealment came into play and I'm landing shells at him without him seeing it. He's turning back, he's turning towards me now, because he realized how badly he fucked up. Now I could start kiting here, but I don't care because this game is already over, so I don't care about taking this extra damage. I just want to finish him and hopefully end the game fairly soon. I'll switch to AP since it looks like he's turning. I got a fire on him. I think he's gonna go for AP on me, but I'm angled fairly well, so I don't think he's doing too much damage. Yeah, and this AP volley will finish him. You can't get that much broadside when AP loaded, it's just guaranteed kill. Unlucky, I would have liked to get another kill, so they have added this new achievement. When you get 5 kills, you get this Captain XP thing. Would have been nice. But still, this is my first ZAO game since I played in a month, and people have been complaining. I read before I started playing again, I read on the forums and stuff about people complaining about the ZAO nerf, but as you can see, the ZAO nerf really doesn't have much of an impact on the gameplay at all, because ZAO doesn't rely on HP to survive. ZAO relies on stealth, on concealment. That's basically what drives this ship. That's why it also has the lowest HP of them all, because it gets punished. If you miss position in a ZAO, you get punished the hardest, especially if they're able to keep detecting you. And it's actually quite a big deal to have 10k or 12k less HP than everyone else. Most people don't understand, it's not just the 12k HP that you're losing, but the repair, the heal, also works as a percentage heal. So the more health you have, the more your heal heals you. So the actual amount of active HP you have, or realistic HP you have, is actually a lot less than both the Des Moines and the Hindenburg, simply because of their larger HP pools. But in the end, that's the price you have to pay, and I don't even think it's much of a price to pay, because 0.5.2 haven't changed anything in my eyes how the ship is played. The ZAO is still a fucking beast, and it's probably still my absolute favorite cruiser. Like, how do you, I don't know, how do you even argue against it? I'm just gonna fast forward here, since this game is just us waiting for this cap to finish, so there's no point sitting around waiting for it. And the game ended. The money is good, the XP is decent. Oh, Gneer managed to beat me, the guy I called jokingly a noob, Gearing, as expected. He's not really a noob. And my HE damage, 95k. and HE, yeah, fire damage. I actually did more fire damage than I did shell damage. That's just how powerful that high fire chance is. And because I took so little damage, I only need to pay less than 100k repair costs, so I end up making like 380k in profits. So overall, quite a nice game to showcase how powerful the ZAO is. As usual, I will begin with the modules. Well, of course, there's nothing to go through here. What I meant was I will continue with the upgrades. First of all, main battery mod. Your guns are your main source of damage, so obviously this one, it also reduces the chance of detonation. Nothing else is even worth considering. Second is, of course, accuracy. This one is bad because it messes with your turret traverse speed, which is already fairly slow. What is it? It's 31.6, so you don't really want to mess with it more as a cruiser. The ZAO actually has very slow turning turrets. So this one is fairly straightforward again. You want the main battery accuracy. And the third one, you want the range. This was a consideration for a time, but once again, traverse speed, just no. You don't want to mess with your traverse speed. It's too much of a negative. This is too much of a negative, and this one isn't even worth considering because you need the extra range to stealth fire. Ignore everything I said. It's not even worth discussing. All these three are straightforward. Third one, I have steering gears, because this one, it works the same way as the captain perk that reduces chance of fire by 7%, meaning it doesn't just add the percentage, but it takes it as a percentage of the enemy's chance. So this one is very, very weak. That's why I probably have two of them, since when I started, when I was a noob, I thought this was the best one, so I always bought it, and now I have two extra. I should probably sell them. But anyway, I went for the steering gears, since on this one I actually find it more important than the propulsion mod, because you rarely ever lose your engine on the ZAO, like only if you get a citadel hit or a big torp hit right in the engine room, whereas your steering gear can break quite often just by shells landing around the stern, since when you're avoiding a lot it tends to happen. If you didn't know, there's AoE damage in this game, so if a shell lands in the water but it's close enough to your rudder, it can damage your rudder through the water. It doesn't have to be a direct hit, just close enough. And the fifth one is obviously steering gear. For a time I was tempted to use this one to just reduce the flooding and fire extinguishing, but honestly, because you use a premium repair, there's no point to use this one ever. So steering gears is the best one you want. It reduces your rudder shift time to 6.1, which is very, very nice for a cruiser. And last, of course, stealth. Very straightforward. You want to be able to stealth fire, as I showed, so you go for the stealth. Consumable wise, well, first of all, premium repair, of course. As usual, you can select the normal credit cost instead of paying doubloons. That's the premium one, and then of course the repair. In the past I didn't actually use a premium repair, but with these recent patches that they've added a charge to the premium repair, so now it's worth shelling out just to get another extra heal out of it. So those are the two premium ones. These two, well, the catapult fighter is straightforward. The spotting aircraft is useless because you don't really need range. You're rarely going to be shooting at stuff further away than your max range, which is 8.8. Whereas a catapult fighter, not only will it help you against carriers, but also will help you detecting torpedoes and detecting destroyers, because it hovers around all the time. It's like for 6 minutes, I think it circles around you. Is it 5 or 6? I can't remember. 6 minutes, yeah, active for 360. Okay, it's 6 minutes it's active for. So for 6 minutes you basically have this plane that destroyers hate. If you've ever played destroyers, you know how much you hate those catapult fighters. They always tend to cross over your torps and then detect them, or cross over you and randomly detect you on the other side of the cliff or something. It's just very frustrating. So this one I use for sure. This one, usually I would always say defensive AI fire, no argument. But lately there's been such a heavy push on high tiers with everyone going DDs and no one playing carriers. So actually going hydroacoustic could be a very real possibility. Now for those who don't understand how hydroacoustic search works, is basically what it means is increases the range of assured acquisition of enemy ships and torpedoes. including those within the smoke screen area. Now, assured acquisition means proximity detection. Basically, when you're close enough to other ship in this game, you automatically detect them. It doesn't matter what's between you and the enemy ship. As long as you're close enough, you will automatically detect them. Now, the default for this, I think, is 2 kilometers. So even if a DD is hiding like on the other side of cliff or in a smoke, if you're 2 kilometers away, you will detect him. It doesn't matter what type of ship you are. Now, if this is active, you can see it increases your ship acquisition to 3.5 kilometers, meaning you can actually see him much further away. It's actually only 3. Let me check. That sounds a bit small. Yeah, it's only 3. Wow, yeah, I need to check something. I think the Germans get a better one. Let me check real quick. Yeah, Germans get a much better hydroacoustic. I didn't even know that. Anyway, but what it means is when you have hydroacoustic search active means that if a DD is trying to hide in the smoke, you only need to go within 3.5 kilometers of him, and if hydroacoustic search is active, you will spot him. It doesn't matter where he hides. If he's on the other side of a rock, whatever. And also it increases the range of torpedo detection, which is also good. The assured detection. So once again, even if you're shooting them in the middle of smoke, you will see them if you're within the range specified. So it's actually, it's a decent consumable. On the Germans it's pretty amazing since it's obviously so much stronger, but because you rarely end up using defensive fire, this one might actually be a very valid option. As of now, however, I've simply been using defensive because most of the time I end up playing so far back that I don't need it. But those are the consumables. Now we go to Captain Perks. Now, first and foremost, we obviously have situation awareness. That's straightforward. Any cruiser, if you play a cruiser at T9 or T10, even T8, and you don't use this perk, then I think you're an idiot. It's very straightforward. You want this perk. Second perk, once again, I think this every cruiser, you want the expert marksman. This one is useless because you don't use the tropes enough. This one is useless because it's not a flat addition. And this one is useless because, no, it's just useless. Shouldn't even be needing it at any point. This is by far the most valuable one, which will constantly be worth it, especially on the Zao with very slow turret traverse. Third one you want is Superintendent. You can see what consumables it adds. Obviously the most important of those is the additional heal. So yes, you want this one. Now the fourth one, advanced firing training is only more anti-air. Your anti-air is already bad, so you don't need it. Your engine and steering gear doesn't break nearly enough to justify this. And Demolition Expert is absolutely fucking amazing, so this one is also very straightforward. And once again, no question asked, you want the Concealment Expert to reduce your detectability. Basically with this active and this perk, my Zao concealment is 9.7 kilometers with the camo, and my chance of fire is 22%. So that is very powerful. Now, as the last points, you've already seen I've taken ship survivability. This one is fantastic because, for example, this affects all modules, meaning if you lose a turret, you lose engine, you lose steering, and your repairs on cooldown, or you just don't want to use it at the moment, then this will reduce it by 15%. And it will also, of course, reduce fire and flooding. So it's a fantastic perk. And for the last 2 points, I still have 2 points to get. For the last 2 points, I will probably end up getting basic firing training for slightly better AA, and probably artillery with the last point. I've been a bit tempted to go vigilance or high alert, get the 3 points, but I don't know. This one is so good. We'll see. But as of now, the important ones you want with the 15 points is situation awareness, expert marksman, superintendent, demolition expert, and concealment expert. Anyways, that was my Zao commentary. I hope you enjoyed it.